Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and this is my dog Zero. He is a Newfoundland Poodle mix, and he is about 10 months right now. I wanted to kind of talk about the struggle that I went through when I got him as a puppy, and also being a college student, living in student housing, being a full-time student, also working part-time was a very big obstacle to overcome, especially with a growing puppy, especially of his size. You know, he's 10 months old and he almost weighs 80 pounds. So it is a lot. Starting with when I got him at 7 weeks old, we went to South Carolina to get him by a breeder. He is predominantly a poodle breed, so he does have a nice little attitude growing up, which I discovered, especially eating walls when he's mad at me is another trait I found out poodles have. He is in the works of being a service dog, so what I've been doing and what I've learned from others is that when you get a dog, especially a puppy, you have to desensitize them to everything. So I took him into water as soon as he was a puppy, got him into the pool, showed him that, you know, me pressing on your paws, playing with your ears isn't supposed to be a bad thing. It's a good thing, it's a positive thing. So he's gotten really good at that. Growing up, once he hit his 3-4 month old stage, it was a bit rough. He was losing his teeth. He was, being potty trained during the time. So I was living in student housing. I had black mats all over my floors, puppy pads everywhere. It looked like a disaster through here. And sometimes it was a problem. Sometimes I'd give up. I couldn't do it. I felt super stressed, especially with schoolwork. Just everything was building up and it was getting to a point where I couldn't handle it anymore. And I'm glad that I have the type of friends and sociability to have people help me, which you definitely need is support. I'm very grateful that I have the support that I have to take care of my dog. And if I didn't, I don't know where I'd be. I don't think I'd be able to have a dog. I put a lot of thought into what I was getting myself into when purchasing him, how expensive it is. For example, he loves water, and we have a lake in my apartment complex. He ran into the lake and got 2 parasites because of it, and it almost cost me $200 for all of the medication that he needs. So accidents happen, expect the unexpected, but it's hard, especially being a college student. I don't make a lot of money. It's scrapping the floor for rent, for food, but I do try to stay on top of him. I spend more on him than I spend on myself, and that's what it's gonna have to be if you do want a dog. I buy his harnesses every other week because he plays through them. They rip up, they get rough and wear and tear. So I've been working really hard with him coming into the more 6 to 8 month span. He was in puppy training, which he graduated from, and I think that is very important to do when you're a puppy, is doing basic obedience. Sit, stay, lay down, leave it, drop it. Those are all super, super basic essential things that you need to have in order for them to not get into things, especially living with a roommate. They can leave stuff out. He's a big dog. He can get onto the counters. So it's a bit dangerous when you might have a roommate that's slacking. Back then, I did have a roommate I used to live with who, she was a bit messy, and my dog would get into things, and that was a problem. So coming into the time where we had a period by ourselves, I got through a good phase in my life where I was able to get a more stable job, more reliable income, where I had a set schedule. And from that, I was able to build my school schedule around that and still be able to make a lot of, if not more, time for Zero. Now that he is 10 months, I've been really trying to work certain things with him. My issues I'm coming across now is sociability. When he was younger, everybody in my apartment, it's a small complex, it's only 3 buildings. Everybody in my complex knows him. I just watched my dog grow up from this little 10-pound puppy to an 80-pound dog. and it's hard to be a friendly person and all of a sudden be like, stop, don't talk to my dog, don't pet him. And it's hard for me because you do have to change yourself for your dog. I am someone who goes through highs and lows mentally. That's why I need him. He is my support animal. I need him to function. I need him to remind me to take my medications, to remind me that I need to go outside. I need to go on walks. I need to stop staying inside all the time. He's very good with that. Getting into, alerts we've been working on, for the most part, reminding me naturally that he needs things is something that I'm very grateful he's learned. For his breed, when he gets water, he'll sit by the fridge. That's how I know he's thirsty. If he's hungry, he'll go to my pantry door, which he'll if I'm not paying attention or I don't hear him, he'll claw at it. Same with the fridge. That's how I know he's hungry. That's how I know he's really thirsty. He did get his food whenever he wanted, and I have learned from my social service dog community. I have a really good friend who has 2 guide dogs, and she has been helping me a lot on tips and tricks, especially now that he's almost going to be a year old. He should be a lot more tame with a lot of things, is to put them on a schedule. I started putting my dog on a morning-night schedule with his food. So if he goes near his food in the morning and he smells at it, might take a couple bites, but if he walks away from it at all, I take it up and he doesn't get it till dinner. During our walks, I've noticed that he is more attentive towards me and my treats than he is at everything else, which is really good. But if he is having like oh my God, I want to have fun, I want to go out, it's a good day, it might be hard to keep him a bit more controlled. So we've been getting into a good habit of using treat toys. So a toy that you can put treats into, and it's a bit hard to get out. I make him sit, look at the treat, look at the toy, see me put the treat into the toy, make him sit, do a couple of things like shake, lay down, do puppy push-ups, which is sit, lay down, and then I'll throw it. He plays with it, brings it back to me because he knows if he brings it back to me, he gets a new treat. That's pretty much what I've been doing as a community, like a student housing student. I do try to bring him out as much as I can. We don't have a little puppy park, so it's hard transportation wise to bring him somewhere. So I do have to just make use of where I live, and it's hard, but he does enjoy being inside. He doesn't mind it. He's a big dog. He's got big fur. He's got a thick coat, 2 coats, so he doesn't mind sitting in a nice cold house for a long time. He's good with naps. He knows when I'm emotionally absent. He kind of just absent-mindedly lays with me. It's just right now is the barking, and it's the biting, and it's all of the magical, terrible in between. So right now he does wear a muzzle. He does catch an attitude with me, so I do have to muzzle him. I do live in an apartment. There are thin paper walls, so it's rough having to muzzle him, but I have to do what's necessary. He is a heavy dog. I live on the 5th floor, so I do a lot of stomping and a lot of destruction as it is. I don't want to add more noise to that by his barking and his teething. Sometimes his barking is cute, but for the most part, that's something we're working on. But yeah, this is my video on how my experience with puppy training to adulthood has been, especially a college student that lives paycheck to paycheck, is in student housing, doesn't really make a lot, but still is able to give the most that I possibly can to my dog, more than I give myself sometimes. And even though that's wrong mentally for myself, it also is the best thing for me. Thank you.